Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2-litre SR manual. 63 plates with just 66,000 miles on the clock in really lovely condition. Finished in passion red, which looks superb on these cars and much nicer in the flesh. The videos never do it justice. Car's very clean. Front of the car, as you can see, lights and lenses are clear and intact without cracks or condensation. Bumper's really clean. It's just spitting with rain, so I do apologise, but the bonnet very clean with only sort of microscopic stone chips. Near side beautifully clean in the panel works, no indentations that are immediately obvious. Near side front alloy, and generally takes all of the bashing, shows absolutely no marks at all. Near side rear alloy, again beautiful condition. Bumper corners really clean and tidy. Going to the offside, driver's side of the car, again indentation free, really crisp and rich in the paintwork. Offside rear alloy, again very nice indeed. The remaining panel work is exceptionally clean. This is going to be one of the cleaner ones out there. No two ways about it. It's in really lovely condition. Coming to the boot area, absolutely enormous boots. It's been kept really nicely. Helped by the fact, obviously, it's got the load cover fitted in the back there as well. Coming to the back, you can see there, the front seats, by the way, are set for me, and I'm 6 foot tall, and you still get enormous amounts of leg room. Half leather interior has been kept absolutely beautifully. Coming in front on the passenger side, again really clean and tidy. Passenger seat again in fantastic condition. Coming on the driver's side, again door card really clean. Footwell areas again in fantastic condition. The driver's seat superb. So inside the car now, engine's running this section as always, so the dash can be seen illuminated, and it is in beautiful condition again. Up there, pop the car into reverse. Yeah, this lovely clear gridded parking camera, all working exactly as it should. And then go to the dash binnacle. Hopefully you can see 66,476 miles. There are no warning lights on the dashboard whilst the engine's running at all. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V, and this is a 2-litre SR version. Car's registered EY63AAE, and with a mileage of 66,476 recorded. The reason we do all of our videos, and especially actually this road test section, is to ensure that if anyone is online looking at any of our cars, they get to see the cars we're advertising actually in operation. The reason we feel it's important is simple. It's because, like far too many people out there, we've been to see cars which have looked absolutely fine in photographs and descriptions, only to get there and find out there's a fundamental issue which we'd much rather know about before setting off. So that's why we do it. Also done on these lovely quiet country roads, and there's a lovely part of Gloucestershire. This actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, and in that way we hope it'll be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, turn the key, engine starts absolutely instantly, settles to a smooth, even idle. No warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car, and temperature gauge is running into third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda car. The engines are simply brilliant. You know, everyone knows Honda build reliable engines, and these are no different. They are incredibly tough and long lasting, helped by the fact that they are cam chain driven. There's no cam belts on them, but in operation it's just such a lovely engine to use day in, day out. It's quiet, it's smooth, you can just tell it's a lovely piece of engineering, because the engine note itself is got that kind of sweet edge to it. all the way through the rev range. It performs really well. It's flexible all through the rev range, and it also delivers really, really good economy. Obviously, depending on how you drive them and where you drive, but they can deliver very, very high economy figures for this type of car, at least anyway. Engine then feeds through into the clutch and gearbox. Clutch of the car, perfect. Bike point exactly where it's meant to be. It's lovely and smooth in operation. And the gearbox, typical Honda gearbox, just brilliantly done. This is much more car-like in terms of gearbox than you'd get in most of its competitors. Its gear levers mounted nice and high. The gear changes have that kind of weighty, slick, mechanical operation that Honda do so well, and that's actually quite hard to achieve because this gear change, like most in this day and age, is actually cables running from the gear lever to the gearbox underneath. And unfortunately, that means that some manufacturers give you kind of sort of a lifeless, vague, notchy gear change, whereas this is the opposite of that. It's absolutely lovely, and it actually adds to the driving experience of the car, whereas others often detract. And the gear change and the actuation feels exactly as it would have done when it was new. It just shows no wear at all. Come to the steering of the car. Honda know this market incredibly well because the CR-V is the best-selling SUV in the world, and it's obvious. So you may drive it to see why, because it's so car-like. And it starts with the steering, which is really nicely weighted. It makes the car feel very settled on the road, confidence-inspiring. But it's very accurate, very precise, reasonably quick for a car of this type, without pretending it's sporty in any way, because it is not. But it does respond really well, but the chassis responds with it. I've driven a few of its competitors, which when you get in them, you think, they ride really nicely, very smooth. But then you show them a corner like this one here, which is a bit yumpy and horrible. This one, you turn in, corner's flat, it's settled, very little movement. These competitors tend to lurch through corners, which can be really unsettling. But this is just brilliantly done. Steering, by the way, there's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. The suspension, there's no clonks, rattles, nothing coming from underneath the vehicle. And it tracks dead straight as well, so just its usual kind of drift to the left, which they're meant to do. But no, it all feels as tight as a drum. The brakes, I'll just leave this braking to this corner a little bit later than I would do normally. I give a good shove, but they're really, really good brakes on the car. Pedal's nice and powerful. There's no pulsing, no vibrations coming back through the pedal at all, so all in fine order indeed. So coming inside the car, the first thing you are aware of when you get into them, which is hard to get over on the videos, is the build quality. They are beautifully put together cars. This is nearly 9 years old, and yet you might as well be sat in a new car in terms of the lack of creaks or rattles. It's really well assembled, and it's to the motoring press's shame that they always laud the same manufacturers for build quality when they're new, which I stress the new part of that, and then don't come back and visit them 10 years later and see what they're really like, because this is where these and Japanese cars of this ilk are beautifully put together. They're not showy. They don't necessarily sort of go for sort of loads of soft plastics. They go for practicality over everything. So everything you can wipe clean. It's largely scratch resistant to a degree. It's incredibly practical. They don't make the doors solid, but they don't go for the kind of artificial thumpy sounds that some manufacturers go for. But it all keeps working. That's the beauty of these things. It's also a lovely place to sit and drive a car, because you've got... it's also a lovely condition here, I should say. On the open road here, you feel very confident. You've got really good visibility all around, helped by these huge wing mirrors. Low dash line there as well, which means you can actually see the bonnet of the car. It just makes you feel very much in control of the vehicle. It's not intimidating in any way. It's also got a dashboard which is incredibly simple to come to terms with. It is joyous by comparison to most modern cars. You can just get in, drive, within 2 or 3 days you've mastered it basically, and it becomes second nature very quickly. You've got this huge radio, which for a dinosaur like me is perfect. I can just press a button and find my station. No menus to scroll through. dual zone climate control system, which is pumping out absolutely ice cold air, by the way. And every switch and everything you turn or twist and press has that same beautiful quality of actuation that Honda give you when they build their cars, and it lasts the life of the car in terms of kind of how they feel. Everything's working, as I said, heated seats. The dash binnacle in front is, again, simple by modern standards, but far better for it. It's detailed really nicely. The design, the information it imparts is just, you just look at it, it takes it in straight away. Really nicely done. Same goes, nice small diameter steering wheel, leather bound, which feels absolutely fantastic to hold as well. The whole feeling of the car is just a car that is nice to get in and drive and sit in and own. That's why they're so popular, and why they hold the value so well as well. This is a four-wheel drive version of the CR-V, albeit there are no buttons. You don't do anything at all. It does it all for you. Honda worked out very quickly that most of their customers would be driving as I am today, where you don't need four-wheel drive on. Because the problem with permanent four-wheel drive cars is that it is on the whole time, quite clearly. So you're going to get through your tyres more quickly, use more fuel, and put more mechanical stress to the vehicle as well. The way this works is dead simple. The car will run in front-wheel drive, which is the most efficient way to pull a car along, pretty much the whole time. Only as and when it needs to go into four-wheel drive, it'll do it instantly, because it measures the front wheels for wheel spin through the traction control system, and as soon as it senses them losing grip, it seamlessly brings in the rear wheels to give you four-wheel drive and disengages it pretty much as quickly. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant, because we've owned numerous CR-Vs which we tow a caravan with, and have never ever come close to getting stuck with one of them. So also its simplicity gives it its reliability, because in nearly 3 decades selling these things, we've hardly ever touched them. I mean, it is incredibly robust. As I said at the start of the video, the point is literally just to show the car operating, but to feedback on any obvious issues. It just drives, you know, I used to sell these new, and it doesn't feel any different in terms of the way it drives still. This is why, as I said, they are so popular, because it's such a robust, tough, well-engineered car, which happens to drive really nicely as well. As always, if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to give us a call.